Hey, how are you? It's Alex, realtor here in Central Indiana, and today I'm making a very raw video. No editing is going to be done onto this video, okay? And I'm just going to get right to it. Um, Currently, there is a lawsuit that is happening at a national level with NAR, which is the National Association of Realtors. And long story short, you'll have to research this on your own, but I'm sure if you Google NAR lawsuit, you can inform yourself on what's really happening. Long story short, um, there were some people that are complaining, the sellers are complaining about having to pay the buyer agent fee when they hired their own realtor to sell the home. So there's the listing agent, and then there's the buyer agent, and then those two negotiate and then come to a happy medium for the buyer and the seller. Okay, so the complaint is that the sellers do not want to pay for that fee, right? So what, you know, we don't know what's going to happen yet. Obviously, it's going to be a long process. However, we do expect change in the industry no matter what, which would mean additional documents, more disclosure, um, just more explanation so that sellers are fully aware of where the fees are going, which frankly, you know, I don't know what was happening in these other states because it's just really silly to me that none of that would have been explained. You know, so when I work with my sellers, they know everything, right? It's upfront, it's very clear. You know, not only do we have a listing contract, but we also have what we call a net sheet, which also breaks down the numbers again, right? Like, you know, you're selling your house for 300,000 minus 15,000 in fees minus closing costs, and if we sell the house for X, this is how much money you're going to walk away with, right? So everyone knows what the numbers are. So I'm not quite sure what happened in these other states. I guess it could be very well possible that they weren't properly explaining things, and you know, thus we're in this position now. I don't know. The point of my video today is to focus on the buyers and let you guys know what's really going to happen and how things are really going to change. You know, so it's going to be like hiring an attorney. You have to hire your own attorney to represent you when you're doing some sort of legal transaction of any kind. So the seller is going to be under contractual obligation to take care of the seller who they hired, and you as a buyer are going to have to do the same thing on your end, right? Because think about it. It does not make any sense for you. So like if you're getting sued, if I'm suing you for whatever reason, I'm suing you, I hired my attorney and I'm suing you. You're not going to use my attorney to help you work this process out, right? Obviously, my attorney, whom I'm paying, is going to have my best interests, not yours. So this is the same thing that would happen in real estate. Uh, a seller agent is going to have a contract with the seller to sell their home, and you're going to go to the seller agent and say, hey, help me buy this home. Doesn't make sense. They're not going to negotiate in your best interest. They're not going to negotiate in good faith because, again, they're under contract with the seller, not you. So, and I think here comes my cat. So you see him. Oh. Guess he got scared away. Anyhow, um, they're not going to be looking out for your best interest. So, thus, you need to hire your own buyer agent to represent you, negotiate in your best behalf, educate you, and walk you through the very long buying process. Everybody thinks it's so easy, and well, it's easy because there's realtors involved helping you through that process. Uh, Anyhow, how's that going to change, right? So think about this for a second. So, you know, if you have purchased a home in the past, think about, when did you ever pay your agent? When did you pay them and say, hey, good job. I'm very happy with your service. Here's a check for $3,800 and you did such a good service. Here's a $500 tip, right? When? Yeah, and it doesn't happen. You've never done it, but it's going to go that way. So you're going to have to hire your own a realtor to represent you, to help you find homes, negotiate homes, do the paperwork for you, help you through the inspection process. How this is going to look, we don't know. Maybe it's going to be some sort of retainer fee when you hire someone. So maybe let's just say it's $1,000 up front. Or maybe it'll be on a menu basis where it's just say, hey, you know, if you look at 6 houses and buy a house in 30 days, it's only going to be $500. Or if you need to look at more houses than 6, it'll be $1,000. Oh, by the way, it'll be 3% of the purchase price of the home in addition to, right? So not only are you going to have to pay the retainer fee in some sort, way, or fashion, or maybe you'll be paying per showing. Maybe you'll be paying $200 for every contract you write. I mean, it's very unclear how it would be, although I could only imagine that it'll just be very different for every agent. They're going to do their own thing. So with that said, we're going to keep our eyes on this lawsuit and really pay attention to what's going on and really see what these changes are going to do to the buyers and how it's really going to affect them. Because really what's going to happen is it's going to put buyers in a really tough position. Not only do they have to come up with their down payment, but now they're going to have to come up with the fee to pay for their attorney to represent them, right? So, you know, they're going to pay the realtor to represent them. For sellers, I don't know. You know, is this a good thing? Is this a bad thing? I don't know. I would imagine that it would be a really bad thing for a seller because you're going to have less buyers coming to view your home. You're going to have less offers, which means you're not going to be able to maximize the full value of your home. That's how I envision it. You know, I envision this. If the changes come, and I do think that there should be some separation. You know, I do see there's some things that can be better for both parties, but it's a whole different video. But just in this particular case, sellers. So if a buyer is paying me, let's say your house is worth $400,000, you're selling your house, it's been on the market for 60 days, 90 days, and I have a buyer who's pre-approved, ready to go, and can buy your home, and they're paying me. They've already paid me a $2,000 retainer fee, and they're also going to give me 3% when the transaction is finalized. I then am going to negotiate with whoever you hired and really, really put them in a position where you're going to have to lower your price a whole lot. And then you're going to have to negotiate whatever you're paying that realtor. I, as a buyer agent, would have 90%, maybe not 90%, but I'm going to have a lot of control of the transaction. You may have the house that hasn't sold, but I have the buyer, and I guarantee you your house is not the only one on the market to purchase at that time, right? So it's going to get very competitive in the sense of buyer agents having the power, more power than we have now, to negotiate price and terms on my client's behalf, whom they've already paid. So your $400,000 house, and we can negotiate it down to $350,000, not my problem. My buyer's willing to pay $350,000. I'm already getting paid. I don't care. If not, I'll take them to another house, right? I already have my, a contract with my buyer agent. Again, I already have a retainer fee, upfront payment, and then they're going to pay the remainder of the balance of whatever they owe me when the transaction closes, right? So this is how I envision it happening, and I really think that it's really going to not benefit home sellers at all, frankly, at all. I don't see how. And for all these listing agents that are out there and that really pride themselves on listings, well, let's just think about it really quick. You're relying on, you rely on getting the listing, but who currently is bringing you the buyer, right? Buyer agents are bringing the buyers. They're bringing them. I have a list of 100 buyers, and so take me times 50 other agents. So, When a house goes up for sale, there's 10, 15, 20 showings right away, maybe multiple offers, and that's how you increase the value of your home and or maximize the value of your home. That's all going to change if I've already been paid as a buyer agent, whether my client buys your house or not. I've already been paid. Let that sink in. I've already been paid. So if you don't come down on your price by a lot, me and my buyer are just going to go buy something else for someone that is going to lower their price to what we want, right? So there, I think, where lies the really big difference, and no one is talking about it. No one's really talking about what the difference is going to be. I do personally believe that it should go somewhere down that direction. Buyer agents should be paid by their buyer clients to give them the maximum amount of power to negotiate on their behalf. And I think that buyers, I think that there should be, stipulations on how many homes you view before you purchase. Hey, you can look at all the homes you want, but it's $500 a month, right? As an example. Look at all the homes you want. Oh, you want to put a lowball offer in? That's fine. It's $200 for every offer I write up for you. How many offers you want to send today, right? So that part, I do think something like that really needs to happen and get with the times, because I don't think it's fair for buyer agents to be showing clients 20, 30, 40 houses. They never buy a house, and or whatever offer they put in are what we call lowball offers. But that's time that these buyer agents are doing. They're driving you around town. They're opening doors. They're opening doors that they pay for. They pay to have access to open those doors, right? They pay to get the information to provide to you so that you can make an educated decision as a consumer. So they do all those things and no one is paying them. So I definitely see something like that happening. And I think it should happen. I think it'll clean up a lot of things. It'll be less paperwork, meaning less contractual paperwork, right? If I send a lowball offer to you, your agent still needs to legally present it to you as a seller, and then you have to decline it, you have to sign it, you have to send it back to me, I have to file it. So, we could avoid that whole loopy-loop for no reason. But then that really comes to the buyers, right? Saying, hey, you want to go ahead and put the lowball offer in, that's fine. It's $200 per offer, right? So change is coming. So if you are a home buyer, prepare yourself, because it's coming. And if you don't believe me, you can just Google it. All the information is there. There's plenty of other videos. I'll probably make a couple more. It's so big of a topic. There's so many moving parts to this topic. Home sellers, I'll eventually do another video for you, because I think, again, you guys are going to suffer the most with your home values and the representation that you have, which, in my personal professional opinion, currently it's very, very poor. There's people that can't sell your home. They don't know how to market your home, so therefore they can't sell your home. Therefore they rely on buyer agents to bring buyers when they list your home, right? So it's really, really going to change. Your home values may take a little bit of a hit. Your homes are going to sit on the market for a long, long time. And maybe not right away. Maybe this is something that's going to level off over the next year or 2 or 3. I'm not sure. These are all just speculation, different comments I've heard from other attorneys, other agents in different cities, different markets. Again, this is a topic that I probably touch on and we talk about 2-3 hours a day. So I'm very versed in what's going on and just sitting back and waiting. I believe this court case is going to court here in a week or two here in October. And so it's going to be very interesting to see. The most ideal situation is that the judge dismisses the case. Things somewhat stay the same, but there still will be change with additional paperwork and buyer agent agreements and things like that. So any questions, let me know. Again, a lot of moving parts, a lot of different scenarios and angles that are happening with this court case and this lawsuit, but just specifically on how it's going to affect buyers and home sellers. It's going to be a lot of change for home buyers. They're going to have to hire their own, and they're going to have to pay up front, and they're also going to be on the hook for for other fees. And home sellers, I've said it once, I've said it before. You can see in my other videos. You're really going to have to interview. You're really going to have to find yourself an attorney to sell your home. And when I say attorney, I mean a realtor, right? Because here in the state of Indiana, we act as attorneys. So, you really need to find yourself a good one. And, I always say that referrals in this particular case are not wise. And I think that every situation is different in real estate. And I think that you, as a home seller and a home buyer in this case, need to interview. And find out, what are you going to do for me? What are your fees? How much do you charge? And what is it that you're going to do for me? So, hope you enjoyed this video. It's a lot, but there's a lot of moving parts. But it is breaking news, and it is some really interesting things that are going to happen here in the real estate industry. I mean, it's already changing now because of this lawsuit. So just buckle up. Buckle up, Mr. Buyer. Buckle up, Mr. Seller. If you're selling a home, I highly encourage you to, if you were thinking of selling a home a year from now, you might want to bite the bullet and get a hold of someone and see if you can't make that happen in the next month or 2 or 3. And even then, it might be too late. So I don't know. And buyers, same thing. If you're thinking of buying something in 6 months or a year, you might want to bite the bullet and say, you know what? I want to save myself some money. Let me go ahead and try and buy something right now. So a lot of moving parts. Do your own research on this particular topic. I will provide more videos and provide some more real life scenarios for you guys and things like that. So thanks for watching the video. I know it's extremely long. I apologize. I like to do 3, 4, 5-minute videos. But this video, I could do this video for like 6 hours. I mean, there's so much information, so many things that are going to change. We haven't spoken about marketing. We haven't spoken about the lenders and how that's going to affect the lenders, appraisals, home inspections, and, how are you going to do home inspections, who's going to pay for the home inspection, how is that going to affect the negotiations. I mean, I just see a large rash of deals falling apart, houses back on the market. I mean, I see a lot of lawsuits from buyers to sellers for discrimination. I see all of those things happening when there is not representation on both sides. So, I don't know. We'll see.